Hi, this is an important video on algebraic techniques called like terms. By the end of this video, you should be able to recognize like terms and be able to add and subtract them. So let's take a look at what are like terms. Remember that terms are just numbers, pronumerals, or a combination of the two. 8p is just one term. When I have 3y plus 4y, those are two terms, and 5 take away 2 plus 9 has three terms. Those three terms are the 5, the 2, and the 9. Like terms have exactly the same pronumerals. They have exactly the same letters. So 3p, 5p, p, and minus 2p are all like terms because they all use a p. Whereas 9, 9p, 9x, 9x squared, and 9xy are all unlike terms because they all have the different letters. You might even look at 9x, 9x squared, and 9xy and say to yourself, well, they've all got x's in them, but because they're all different types of x's, they are not like terms. So what's the point in knowing what a like term is and what an unlike term is? Well, let me show you an example in real life to show you what we can do with like terms and unlike terms. Let's pretend we've got this guy John who has 3 pens and $5, and this girl Sally who has 7 pens and $2. I want to know how many pens they have altogether, how many dollars they have altogether, and then how many pens and dollars they have altogether. So first of all, the pens. Together, John and Sally have 10 pens. All I do is add the 3 and the 7 together to give me the 10 pens. How many dollars do they have together? Well, I'm only adding the 5 and the 2 together because that's how many dollars they have. So I can add 5 and 2 to get $7. How many pens and dollars do they have altogether? Well, I add the 3 and the 7 together to get 10 pens, and the 5 and the 2 to get together to get $7. I don't have 17 pen dollars. I don't add those pens and dollars together because they're two separate things and they're unlike each other. The important thing to know about like terms is that you can only add and subtract them. So you've got to recognize what the like terms are and then add them together. For example, if I have two x's and I add three x's and four x's together, how many x's do I have altogether? Well, 2 plus 3 plus 4 is 9, so I have 9 x's. What if I had 9 p's, I took away 5 p's, and then I took away another p? Well, 9 take away 5 is 4, and when I take away that last p, I get 3p. If I have 7 d's, I add 10 d's, and then I take away 16 d's. Well, 7 and 10 is 17, and when I take 16 away from that, I'm left with just 1d left over, or just the letter d. Now those letters, the x, the p, and the d, they stand for numbers that we don't know. We don't need to know what they are just yet. For right now, we're just trying to simplify. I want to show you an example where I have a couple of clouds, a blue cloud with 3 4s in it, and a yellow cloud with 3 a's in it. So those 3 4s I could write as 3 lots of 4, just like I could do with the yellow cloud where I have 3 lots of a. Now in algebra, we don't have to write that times symbol, so it's actually easier to just write 3a. Now let's pretend I want to add on some 4s to that blue cloud. So I'm going to bring along 2 more 4s. So I have 2 lots of 4, and I want to add that on to my first cloud. So let's put them up in there. How many 4s do I have now? I have 5 4s in that blue cloud. I'm going to do the same thing with the yellow cloud now. I'm going to bring across 2 a's. Those a's could stand for any number. They could be 2 7s or 2 12s or 2 15s. It doesn't matter. I've got 2 of them, but I want to add it on to my 3 a's that I started with. So how many a's do I have in that yellow cloud at the top now? Well, I have 5 a's. So in this first blue cloud, I started off with 3 4s, I added on 2 4s, and now I have 5 lots of 4. Just like with the yellow cloud, I started off with 3 a's, I added on 2 a's, and then at the end I had 5 a's. It's a lot easier to write 5a than it is to write 3a plus 2a. But what happens if I'm adding on things that aren't exactly the same? Like what happens if I don't add on 4s, or what happens if I don't add on a's? So let's take a look at the blue cloud. This time I've got 3 4s and I've got 3 a's in the yellow cloud. But in this blue cloud now, I'm going to try and add on a couple of 6s. So I'm going to take those 2 6s and I'm going to add them up into my first cloud. And now I've got a combination of things in that blue cloud. I have 3 4s, but I also have 2 6s. Let's see what happens when I add on things that aren't the same into this yellow cloud. So I've got 3 a's and I've got 2 b's now, and I want to add those 2 b's up into my original cloud. Now I have a combination of letters. I don't have 5 a b's anymore. I have 3a's and I have 2b's. So altogether I have 3a plus 2b. This is how you deal with unlike terms. You keep them separated by either a plus symbol or, if you're taking them away, a minus symbol. Let's take a look at three examples that you might see in your text or possibly something later on. With question A, I've got 5x plus 2x plus 4y. Those first two terms are like terms and I can add them together. So altogether I have 7x's. I've still got plus 4y in that sentence, so I need to put plus 4y on the end so that I have the same amount on the left-hand side of the equal sign as I do on the right. That is all I can do. I do not have 11xy's. I can't put the x's and the y's together. That is my final answer, and that's how they stay separated. Let's look at example B. I've got 10 p's and I'm taking away 3 p's. I'm then going to try and take away 2 m's, but p and m are unlike terms. So I can do 10 take away 3 and I can get 7 p's. But then when I've got those minus 2m, I still need to put that minus 2m on the end of my expression so that they are the same on the left-hand side of the equal sign as they are on the right. These are called equivalent terms or equivalent expressions. The last one looks a little bit trickier because it has m's and s's, but they're not next to each other, but they don't have to be. I have 8 m's and I have plus 3 more m's later on in that sentence. Altogether, I have 11 m's. When I look at my s's, I have 2 s's, and later on I'm adding on 4 more s's. So I end up with 6 s's altogether. This is how you add and subtract like terms and unlike terms, and it's important that you put together the like terms and that you keep separate the unlike terms. So what should you write for this video? Well, what a heading first of all of like terms, and then what a like term is, that they have exactly the same pronumerals or letters. And then 2 examples, one of what like terms are and then one of what unlike terms are. And then I guess one of the most important things in big yellow writing, something that will make it stand out, that you can only add and subtract terms if they are like terms. To finish off your writing, you should get those 6 examples that we got down. First of all, the ones with just like terms in them, and then the combination of like terms and unlike terms. And that's it. Hopefully now you can recognize what a like term is, and then you're able to add and subtract them in order to simplify. Good luck.